Hi, I'm Bob from Plastic Pipe Shop, and in this video we're going to have a look at what the best ways are to connect metal threads to plastic threads. Now we've got two options really. We've got either using just a standard threaded fitting, and then if we have a metal thread just to thread it straight in. That's one option. Or the other option we've got is to use some special fittings which are composite unions. So the composite union, we have metal on one side and then we have a plastic socket which is coming out on the other. Now, one of the big things to think about when we're connecting plastic threads onto metal threads is the differences in the materials, especially in the expansion and contraction of those materials with temperature. So if we put a metal thread directly into a plastic thread, as the temperature of our fluid changes, the metal is going to expand and contract, and the plastic is going to expand and contract. But they don't do it exactly the same amount. So the risk we have is that one side expands more than the other side, and that then compromises the seal which we've made on the thread. If your water or your fluid is at a constant temperature, you can get away with it, but people are often surprised that they end up with weeping joints when they're connecting metal to plastic. So, how do we get around that? We get around that if we use a union. The union fitting, when it comes apart, it's entirely metal on one side and entirely plastic on the other. And there's a EPDM seal inside which is going to actually make the seal. So, if one side of this expands more than the other side expands, it's not going to be an issue at all, because that EPDM seal in the middle is still going to retain our seal. These composite unions are available with either female threads on the metal side, male threads on the metal side, and we also supply them with stainless steel rather than brass. As far as I'm concerned, that's the right way to connect metal onto plastic. If you still want to do it the other way, and many people do because these are quite pricey fittings, rather than using a standard threaded fitting like this and just screwing it straight onto the metal, we supply threaded fittings which have a reinforcing ring around the outside. The reinforcing ring does two jobs. First of all, if you happen to over tighten onto a metal thread, which is easily done, it gives extra strength onto that thread so the plastic isn't going to crack. The other thing it does is, and remember back to where we're talking about the expansion and contraction, if the metal side expands on a fitting without the reinforcing ring, it can crack the fitting. The reinforcing ring just gives that plastic a bit more strength and it's a bit more forgiving. Preferred option is a straight metal onto plastic composite union. If you're going to use a thread going straight onto a metal thread from plastic, always use one with a reinforcing ring. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.